Hey, thanks for listening. I hope you're having a good one. It's Rock 100.5. Jason Bailey there, Southside Steve, Tim Andrews, Brandy, or did you do there? Nate in studio, comedian, actor, reality television host in studio, Atlanta Improv. In town tonight, tomorrow night, 7:45, 10:15. The ImprovAtlanta.com. It is the great, it is the machine, it is the man. Bert Kreischer, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm obsessed with Periscope right now.
Is there a proper way to do it? Because Tim, Tim looks like he's not doing it properly.
First of all, stop following white people. All you do in Periscope, follow sheiks. Sheiks are, they're so fascinating. They are so fascinating.
Like the Iron Sheik.
No, like legit sheiks who travel to buy Arabian stallions in Paris and Brussels. They have the most interesting life. I watched this guy. It's a lot of them driving in Range Rovers, and then literally they just shoot the forward shot of them driving through streets. But like, it's so fascinating.
Do they turn it on themselves so I get a look at the sheik, or am I just looking at what the sheik sees?
A lot of times, for some reason, it's just what they see. I don't know why they find that interesting.
There's a dog over there. Look at the dog.
No, it's them holding
we'll eat that later.
The best one I've seen was them doing it, and they're buying Arabian stallions in Brussels, and it's raining, and his wife says something, and he just loses his mind on her, and I'm just going, oh my God, please hit her, like, because you know that's totally acceptable to a sheik.
Let me tell you something. The first time everybody, I think the whole world learned about Periscope, and it came out a day after Meerkat. Remember Meerkat, which is the Ashton Kutcher project?
Yeah.
And so that whole, nerdy debacle took place. And I was like, what's this all about? So I'm in bed, Bert, and I'm looking at it, and I'm on the Periscope. I watched this chick and her boyfriend sing songs horribly with their dog for 30 minutes. And I'm like, why? Why am I watching this, and why is this awesome?
Why am I watching Steve get ready in the morning, or better yet, watching him like he was house sitting for his in-laws?
Right.
And I'm like,
you watched all those great videos?
Yeah, and I'm like, get me an exterior shot. I want to see what the outside of the house looks like. Clearly, these people have money.
Oh, they definitely do.
Oh, they have a lot of money. They've got like 3 fridges. I'm obsessed. I want a house in there, and I want to change the blocks to say Kreischer's run this house.
Please tell me if you want to come over this weekend and do that'd be great. Raid their house.
Are they still out of town?
They're back now. But what I did...
I want to meet Nancy.
Oh, Nancy's hot.
You know things about people that you shouldn't know. The best guy on Periscope is my buddy Joey Diaz, okay? Joey Diaz, if you don't know, is a stand-up comedian. He's been in a ton of movies. He's also been in prison for kidnapping. But every morning he smokes weed. He smokes an ungodly amount of weed. Like, an ungodly amount of weed. And he just sits there and just preaches for like an hour as he just takes bowl hit after bowl hit, and he always names his bowl hits. He did a bowl hit with he goes, all right, time for a Puerto Rican hamburger. That's a little weed on the bottom, some hash in the middle, and a little weed on top. And it's great. Follow his. I'll retweet it when he comes out.
Bro, this guy to my left, Nate, that's the guy. He names his weed too.
Oh, do you really?
Oh yeah.
One of the best stories is Kevin Smith, the director of his Clerks, and we have a lot of familiar friends down in Central Florida and whatnot.
Yeah.
So Kevin's family lives there, and every time Kevin was in town, he'd pop in the studio. He'd spend the whole show with us, 4 hours.
Yeah.
And so Kevin Smith comes in, leave the show. Kevin's walking out and goes, hey, anybody want to get high? And I'm like, I had to go somewhere, but I'm like, to get high with Kevin Smith, that's fantastic.
You gotta. Oh, yeah.
You have to, but I have
certain people you have to smoke dope with or do drugs, even heroin if the right guy came in here. You'd have to do it with somebody.
I agree, Steve. And I said,
it's a horrible thing.
But I had to go, so Nate and I think my other intern, the saddest, greatest visual, walking across the parking lot. You know what parking lot I'm talking to? Walking across a parking lot to go hide behind a dumpster with Kevin Smith. And I'm watching him in his jorts and his hockey jersey with my 2 interns going to get high.
He pulls out the biggest joint I've ever seen. He's like, where would one go to do this? Where would one go to do this?
Was the rest of the show, you're like, I can't get a thing.
No, this was after the show.
That's good time to get high. Who's the person that you smoked pot with, Bert, that's the biggest star that you just had to... I know who mine is. I did Dan Aykroyd.
What?
Oh, my God.
Yes.
I'm never going to top that.
That's and Cheech. I've done Cheech.
Jeez, I haven't smoked pot with anybody then, considering.
You got to think of the ultimate pot smokers or famous person. Yeah, Cheech, and they come through the studios, and we did it with him in the hallway. In the hallway.
Those days are done.
You mean Tommy Chong?
I'm trying to
Or
think.
Chong? Was it Chong or
It was
Cheech?
Tommy Chong.
Oh, I
We all
can't remember
did.
who I smoked with. We all smoked with Chong. Okay, sorry.
Come on, Bert. You're around these people all the
somebody.
time.
Well, if I'm not
Who
really
are you
a big-
protecting right
I'm
now?
not protecting
You're
anybody.
protecting somebody.
Protecting
Andrew Zimmern.
myself.
All right.
No, Andrew Zimmern's sober. He does not do drugs.
okay.
Do you get drunk before you do all these stunts when we look at Bert the Conqueror and
No,
everything?
I'm stone sober every time because I'm always afraid that if I get drunk, I won't have my wits about me to get myself out of trouble. You know, like, so I've never drank before I do anything ever on TV ever.
And that was.
And he's an alcoholic. That's impressive, Bert.
Easy, Steve.
if memory.
You're touching something very real right now.
Sorry.
It was a joke 4 years ago.
Okay, sorry.
Don't make the joke reality. If memory serves, years ago, I think I asked you that, and you don't drink because somebody told you not to, or a parent.
Oh, no. I don't drink before I go on stage because some guy.
Really?
Yeah, some guy. The first time I ever did stand up, I don't know his name. It was like an angel. He just like
Bert Kreischer.
He appeared.
Don't drink.
No, I was at Potbelly's in Tallahassee. I had just gotten written up in Rolling Stone magazine. I was going to do stand up for the first time, a radio station, and put on a big stand up event for me to go last. I was going to go last.
No, when you were
Four comics.
nervous as hell.
I was terrified.
God.
And I can tell you where I was standing and what I got a Miller Lite, and I grabbed the Miller Lite, and I was before the show started, and I went to take a sip, and this guy, I don't know his name, but he just comes up and he goes, "Hey man, I wouldn't do that if I were you." I was like, "What?" And he was like, if you do that now and you do well, that'll become something you'll do again, and it'll be a habit, and then you won't be able to go on stage sober." And he goes, "If I were you, I'd do this sober, because if you do it good, it's going to be a job, and you're going to want to do it sober." And I was like, that was a good point. So I didn't drink. I did it sober, which is so not like me in life. And so I never drink before I go on stage.
And you crushed that night, right?
I did 30 minutes, and I got offered my own morning show.
Yeah.
And I
That was a
like,
good night, bro.
yeah, and I remember telling the guy, they're like, "You'll come in, you'll be a sidekick for a month, and he's going to go to New York." And they sat us down at a table at Potbelly's, and I said to the guy, "This is great." And he was like, "Well, yeah, I guess." He was like, "Well, I don't know."
Because what happens with comics is they use, tell me if I'm off here, Bert, but they use, like they take this can I'm holding right now, it's a crutch.
Yeah.
So, just as when you see people on the news, it drives me nuts when they
Tap a pencil.
tap a
Yeah.
pen, or guys on the radio crumple the paper. It's a crutch because they don't know what to say, or it's a transition. With comedians, the alcohol, the sipping of the alcohol is for them to transition into the next joke and to think. That's why, a lot of the guys now, like Bert's age and whatnot, Robert Kelly, another great example, fantastic comedian. He tells a similar story of you just get caught up in that crutch in your hand, which then turns into alcoholism, which then turns into death.
Well, you're so lucky, Bert, that you had an angel, because there was no angel for Ron White. Ron
He killed the angel.
Ron is having to smoke a cigar and drink straight alcohol.
They're crutches.
And I'm hitting a vape pipe.
And a
as
vape
well.
pipe. But you're a great drinker off stage.
Yeah, that's my problem. Is that like last night I had I'll bring a cocktail on stage with me always, but and last night I had one vodka soda on stage for an hour and a half, and then when I get done, I just started guzzling them, and I was like, and then I ate 20 Crystal burgers at 4 in the morning.
Attaboy.
Yeah, and so but I love drinking. I always say to myself, I've said this to my wife, to my therapist, everyone, I will never quit drinking because I love it. So
Me
don't ever
too.
let me get in the position that I have to quit drinking. So if you notice that, I say this to my wife all the time, if you notice that I'm drinking too much, stop me so that I can keep drinking. Does that make sense?
That makes total
It
sense.
makes total sense.
Yeah.
If you like something, I like to gamble.
Yeah.
People
I love gambling.
When people deem it a bad thing, I call it practice.
Yeah.
If you want to be a professional athlete, you play it a lot to get better.
Yep.
If you like drinking, you drink often to get better.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a bad thing if there weren't so many liquor stores, right?
Yeah.
They want you
yeah.
to practice a lot.
Tell me about it. Here's the other thing is that I was sponsored by Jameson for a long time.
Well,
and that's when it reared its head.
It's great
get
when
you get a case delivered to your house at the beginning of every month, and if you ran out early, you could call them and they'd send another one. You're like,
And they're Irish.
yeah. You're drinking a bottle of Jameson, just Googling yourself at night. You're like, this is bad.
You feel like you have to do it for the sponsor.
the best was it's like you couldn't tell them you had, like, you would be like, man, I killed a whole bottle last night, and they're like, awesome, like, way to go. But they were great, man. We toured for them. Me and Steve Byrne, Billy Gardell got sober touring for them. Like, he literally, I'm not even lying. I probably shouldn't say this. He's got family here.
Oh no, but Billy can handle it.
Billy's an honest guy.
He's so sweet.
We were in Boston getting ready to renew the tour, and like, we had to do one show, and they decided if they wanted to do it again. And Billy decided that weekend to quit drinking. And it was like he was a big drinker. And I shouldn't say this, but I love Billy. And
I don't mind.
But Billy never went on stage without doing a shot first.
Which is okay. I don't think you guys should be ashamed.
Loosen up. You take a shot. Mm-hmm. And so he wasn't doing it. This is a very big show for us. And so Billy, to relax, there was in the place we were at was a candy store. Billy got a pound of gummy worms, and he was just eating gummy worms and Swedish fish, like by the handful. And I'm watching him. I don't realize he's quit drinking. And I go, hey, Billy, man, those things aren't that good for you. I go, if I were you, I'd slow down. And he grabs me by the throat. He goes, Kreischer, I just quit drinking yesterday. Leave me alone.
All right, let's take a quick one. Come back more with Bert Kreischer tonight, tomorrow, 7:45, 10:15 shows here at the Improv Atlanta.
Hey, we're also doing the world's biggest slide on Saturday.
Well, that's what we want to talk to you about, what you're in town to do.
Yeah. We're going to do that next because Bert the Conqueror, we want to talk about what you're doing here in town for the show, obviously.
Perfect.
So we'll do that here upcoming. More with Bert next here. It's Rock 100.5.
100.5, Atlanta's classic rock.
Tonight, tomorrow, 7:45, 10:15 shows, theimprovatlanta.com. Bert Kreischer will be there. He's in studio now. You also got Bert the Conqueror, season 2. What, season 2?
Season 3.
Season 3, Travel Channel?
It got canceled. I'm not allowed to say this, but like, it got canceled 4 years ago. and then they kept airing reruns, and they kept rating. They kept doing well. And the president, or the vice president, general manager, called me up, and he was like, this is how interesting our network is. It's like very family. Very, very, very family. Like, they call, like, usually a network would call your agent and then propose something, and then the agent would talk to the manager, and then the manager would bring in the talent. He just called me up. His name's Ross. He just calls me up. I'm at my beach house. It's like midnight. He goes, hey, man, what are you doing? I said, nothing. He doesn't drink, so it's not like he's drunk. He goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm at the beach house. And he's like, cool. He goes, hey, man, would you want to do more Bert the Conquerors? I was like, yeah. And he goes, all right, how many? Like 13? I was like, yeah. He's like, cool. All right, I'll talk to you later.
That's a business deal.
Yeah, and then he calls back and he goes, so it's a real thing. We're going to do it. And he's like, are you sure you're cool with this? And I was like, as long as I can do whatever I want, yes. Oh, I wish I had my computer. Oh, I'll show you. This show is going to be so good. So good, you have no idea. I really am mad I didn't bring my computer because I have a cut of one of the episodes where
we can find it. Where do you want to?
No. It hasn't. It's just a rough cut.
Oh,
it hasn't aired yet. I'm gonna send it to you guys. It is so good. I ruptured my testicle. Yeah, on a water slide. And now old Bert the Conqueror, they would have been like, cut. Let's get him to the hospital. But since I'm the producer and I do the show,
it's your call.
I just said keep it rolling. I said let's roll this. So they had to have the people from the park come in and examine my testicle. And there's just these two girls that work at a water park, and they see it. It is so big. I think I have a picture of it. And they literally are like, oh my God, you need to go to the hospital.
It was just one of them?
It was just one. My left one just
How
exploded.
big did it get?
I think I have a picture.
Can you just describe a golf ball size?
If I show it to you, you'll go, oh my God.
Explain to me how you did this on a water slide.
You know what? I have no idea.
It got pinched under you, I guess.
It's at this place called Action Park. Action Park is notorious for... It's a notorious park in Jersey. If you look it up, if you Google it, there's been like 6 recorded deaths there, and it's like it's a dangerous park.
Sounds fun.
And so I did
bring your kids.
This slide was like it's a slide that goes off and then drops you 20 feet into the water onto your back. Like, it just makes no sense. And I looked at it and I was like, this makes no sense. But then I did it and I just landed wrong. I landed wrong and I hit my testicle and it just exploded. and it was bad. I had to go to the hospital. I had to get. So first thing I did is texted Dr. Drew, and I was like, "Hey, I have something going on with my testicle." He's like, "Go to the hospital right now." So
text Adam Carolla.
So I go to the hospital. I spend the night in the hospital. I get up the next morning, and I had seen a woman dying in the hospital, and it was really sad. She was dying by herself.
This is why you have the ruptured testicle.
No. This is, by the way, this is explains the next day. So I witnessed this, and then everything just kind of clicks, and I've been away from my family, and I feel very pensive, and there's something wrong with my testicle, and so they're doing sonograms, and they're thinking they may have to get rid of it, and so all this things it's all weighing in my head. So the next day we do this ride called Zumanjaro. It's a 415-foot free fall, and it's the biggest free fall you can do in the world, and so. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm thinking about everything, but nothing at all. So I do this ride. I'm afraid of heights. They drop you. It's like a 7-second free fall. It's so aggressive. I get done and I start crying. I can't stop crying.
Oh,
and they just roll it all of it. But
so embarrassing.
Steve, I'm crying in front of children. I'm a grown man, and I can't stop crying. And I'm cursing, and I'm embarrassed. Oh my God. They roll it all in. It's like one cut from me to the top of the thing, dropping and then sobbing. And then I get out of the ride and I go, I gotta try it again. And there's this kid going, watch Bert. Look at Bert. He's crying. I do it again. I cry again.
Can I tell you my favorite part of that story, Bert?
That's great.
Is I'm in the hospital. I've got a ruptured testicle, and I'm next to a woman that's dying, and I'm thinking about everything, but I'm not thinking about nothing.
Yeah.
And the next day, I go on this water slide.
Yeah, I'm like, in your testicle.
I thought it was going to get deeper. I thought it was going to get emotional.
My testicle.
So what are you doing in Atlanta for the show? I mean, what is
you got some stunt is what we're figuring somewhere.
Yes, I am. We're driving tanks at Tanktown, USA today.
Oh, that's cool.
And then that'll be fun. That'll be a blast. Except
Nate, our Digi-Dude's done that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And then we're doing, I got to find this testicle. And then we're doing Slide the City in Decatur.
Doing what?
Slide the City.
Isn't that where they take a long stretch of road and you just slide down it?
They make a big water slide and you slide that down a long stretch of thing. I can't wait. I've always seen those online. I've never done them, and I've always wanted to do them.
Yeah, you get an incline on a street, and this will go for maybe a mile or something. You got to get a really good street, a good slope, and they make a giant water slide, and people come out and get in tubes and slide down it.
I didn't think that why is this the first time we've heard of this?
Is that a Bert? There you go. Is that a Bert the Conqueror?
Yeah, that's Bert the Conqueror.
Oh, that's cool.
What are you conquering there?
It's just having fun. It's just going on. Like it's.
I need you to do something crazy.
Well, the panic in the tank. I don't want you to tell me about it. But I already know that they made those things back when we didn't have obesity in this country. So I'm terrified. I saw the movie Fury. No, there's no fat guy in that movie. There's no fat guy in tanks.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure it's going to be a tight fit, and I'm claustrophobic.
They are small, are they?
And they're British tanks too. You can't own an American tank here, I guess. So they're all from Europe.
So what does that mean?
Yeah, they're super tall.
So he's going to be in a European tank. What Bert's worried about right now, and it was an off-air conversation. Please stop me if I shouldn't say.
No, you can say anything. I don't care. You know that.
Okay, thank you. Other than having one testicle bigger than the other, because still he hasn't healed properly, but he's fat.
Yeah.
This is as big as he's ever been. And normally he gets nude in the studio, and this is the first time I've seen you get shy.
I'm not shy.
Are you shy?
No, I'll show you my
Show me your tummy. I know what your body looks like.
I'm looking for this testicle. Will you keep scrolling through here until you find my testicle?
Yeah, I'll keep looking for your testicle.
Are you worried that you're going to get stuck in
There he is. He's worried that he's at a size 40 in the waist jeans, and he's worried he's going to get
sweatpants.
stuck.
Sweatpants are the enablers to fat people.
Is that why you're wearing these the old school Road Warrior pants?
No, I'm wearing those because I have to drive to that place today.
You want to be comfy.
I don't want to be comfy. I'm going to fall asleep in the car. Someone who works for me, Sammy, is driving, so I'm just going to pass out in the car.
How's your wife feel about the waking?
Does she care?
She does.
She's not as attracted to you anymore?
You're still cute in the face.
There's no way she can be attracted to me physically.
Does she ever lean over, like when you wake up in the morning? This is the worst thing.
Stop shooting me like I'm an animal.
This is the worst.
I'm seeing you. You're like you're at the zoo.
It's so wrong.
It's not even that bad. I'm not like.
No, you don't look bad.
It's just I'm uncomfortable.
This is the worst thing when you have your wife next to you.
Damn ball.
And you roll over in bed, Bert, and she looks at you and says, "I love you, Bert Kreischer. You're my favorite. You're my husband. I take your last name." But then your belly kind of flops over because you're on your side.
No, I think one side of my body's getting fatter because I sleep on my side, so all the weight kind of aggregates to that area, and then I wake up and one side's bigger than the other.
Do you feel less comfortable having sex when you gain weight?
Yes.
I do too.
Yeah. I feel like like
You don't feel like a rock star.
And you don't feel comfortable. Actually, it's uncomfortable.
You feel more like Meatloaf than you do Steve Perry.
yeah, it's
Thank you for that.
it's not. There's no part. Like I can tell when I lose weight, my wife's more attracted to me.
Yeah.
Like I'll go on a cleanse in December and I'll drop like 40 pounds easy. And my wife always like whenever that happens, my wife's like, you can tell that it's like there's a new guy in the house.
Right.
But like. The thing is, I don't care what her body looks like. Like I like her body the way it is.
That's a
I like
lie.
it with a little bit of a flaw.
That's a lie.
I don't want that like porn star body. I have no connection to that. Like I like the body that's a little like you got to catch it before it falls out of bed kind of body.
Wow.
I'm gonna find this testicle.
Tell me, too, and I want to know, because you do it, and the only other comedian I know does it's Ron White, but y'all wear flip-flops, but you always paint your toes. And
Yeah.
you know me as a toe guy. I got to ask.
I do it because my daughters do it when we go to Hawaii. They'll paint my toes, and then I keep it in for good luck for the entire season. But then everyone always says, "Oh my God, your toenails are painted." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah, but they're chippy right now. Are you going to get a pedicure? Because they're chippy. Your toenails are chippy
they're
right
real
now.
chippy. I will get a pedicure, but I got to do it with my daughters. I love it when guys see that and then think I'm gay, and they're like, "Oh, your toenails are painted?" And I'm like, "Dude, go online. You'll see some really crazy stuff dudes do to each other."
They're not thinking you're gay, Bert, because your toenails are painted. They're thinking you're gay because you're wearing the Road Warriors pants with your shirt off with a large testicle.
It's the whole outfit.
The Road Warriors pants is the best line. By the way, they can say you can see my junk in them. Like
So, you
They do poke out a little bit.
they're very thin. They're feel how thin they are. They're really comfortable.
Can I tell you, you're having a good morning. We got a warm studio. I mean,
You can call that your Bertle.
you actually look very good this morning, Bert.
In a weird way, I think I'm gaining size. I've noticed that lately.
It looked bigger than normal.
It's doing pretty good.
It actually is. I mean, because I know where you hang and you're longer.
All right, tonight, tomorrow, 7:45, 10:15. The improvatlanta.com is the website.
Oh, here's my testicle. You ready?
Just show us. Oh my God!
Oh God!
It's all look right
Let
there.
me see.
Oh my God, it looks like a mammal, like a manatee.
It looks like a manatee.
Yeah.
Looks like a manatee, or
It just exploded on the top, and I couldn't. We didn't know why that happened, and they were like, "That doesn't make any sense."
or like those brain things in the water.
Yeah. Look here. Watch this, Steve. This will really freak
All right,
you
you
out.
guys do that. I'll wrap things
Oh,
up.
you mean like a jellyfish? You're thinking like a
Portuguese man of war.
Bert.com is the website. Go see Bert Kreischer here tonight and tomorrow at the Improv. Thanks for coming in, dude.
Here,
We'll
Steve,
continue to
watch
look at his
See.
testicles.
Oh, he's showing it happen.
News Deuce here up next, second round. Need some players. Start lining up. 404-741-ROCK. 404-741.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
7625. Second round of News Deuce. Get you some freebies here next. It's Rock 100.5.